Sometimes the quietest players on the court are carrying battles no one else can see. For Anna, pickleball wasn't just a game. It was her escape, her peace, her way to breathe again. But when her father's Alzheimer's began to take everything familiar away, she disappeared from the court completely. What her friends didn't know was that she was fighting a silent battle at home until one phone call changed everything. Because sometimes, healing doesn't start in a hospital or a therapy room. Sometimes, hope starts on the pickleball court. Welcome to Anna's story. Please note, names and images have been changed to protect privacy. Nothing in this video should be taken as medical advice. Always consult a physician for everything before doing anything. She came to the pickleball courts on a sunny spring morning, racket in hand, nerves knotted in her stomach. She wasn't sure if she belonged there. She had always been on the quieter side, never the type to walk into a group and command attention. Her name was Anna, and pickleball had been something she discovered almost by accident. She saw people playing one day at the park near her home, laughter ringing out, paddles popping against the ball. She thought, maybe I'll give it a try. At first, she hovered on the edges. She wasn't a natural athlete, and she often worried she was slowing games down. But the group, a mix of retirees, weekend warriors, and a few competitive souls, welcomed her anyway. Don't worry, you'll get the hang of it, someone told her after she missed a shot. Slowly, week after week, her smile began to grow. She wasn't the best player, she wasn't the loudest voice, but she showed up, and showing up made her feel, for once, like part of something. Away from the court, Anna's life was quieter still. She was an only child, her world largely shaped by her father. Her mother had passed away from cancer almost 20 years ago, when Anna was still in her 20s. That loss had carved a permanent ache in her heart. Her father, David, had been her rock through those years. A proud, steady man, he had managed his own home with independence well into his later life. Anna visited him often, Sunday dinners, quick midweek check-ins. He insisted he didn't need much help. He mowed his lawn, did his shopping, and still managed to crack a dry joke now and then. But Anna loved those visits. Even when short, they reminded her of family roots. Pickleball became her outlet, a way to breathe, to smile, to step outside the quiet weight of her responsibilities. It gave her something that was just hers. Then the changes began, subtle at first. One evening, Anna stopped by her father's house and noticed his keys in the refrigerator. "Dad," she said with a laugh, "did you put these here on purpose?" He chuckled awkwardly. "Yes, I wasn't paying attention." Another time, he called her 3 times in a single day to ask the same question about a utility bill. Anna brushed it off as normal aging, but deep inside, unease stirred. As the months passed, the moments grew sharper. A pot left burning on the stove. The confusion in his eyes when he couldn't find his way home from the grocery store. The day he forgot her birthday entirely. A doctor confirmed what Anna had feared, Alzheimer's. From that moment on, her life changed. Alzheimer's is a thief, not just of memory, but of identity, of independence, of the person you once knew. For Anna, the burden grew heavier each week. At first, it was reminders, writing notes for her dad, labeling drawers, setting alarms. But soon, she was cooking his meals, organizing his pills, driving him to appointments. She was no longer just a daughter. She had become his caregiver, and she was alone. There were no siblings to share the weight, no mother to lean on. It was Anna and her father, against an illness that had no mercy. Pickleball, once her release, began to fade from her life. The gains that once lifted her now felt impossible. How could she laugh on the court while her father sat at home, forgetting the man he once was? So she stopped showing up, first for a week, then another, then entirely. Weeks passed, and the group at the courts noticed her absence. She wasn't the center of their circle, but she was missed. One evening, her phone lit up with a number she barely recognized. It was Karen, a woman she had played with a few times. "Hey, Anna, we haven't seen you in a while. Everything okay?" The words cracked something open inside her. She tried to answer lightly at first, but the weight was too much. Her voice broke. "My dad, he has Alzheimer's. He needs me. I can't get away anymore." There was silence. Then Karen's gentle reply. "I'm so sorry. You're not alone, you know. We're here." For the first time in months, Anna felt the tightness in her chest ease just a little. What happened next surprised her. She had thought of pickleball as a pastime, nothing more, but the people she played with began to surround her with support. Meals appeared at her doorstep. Phone calls came regularly. Some offered to run errands for her father. Others offered to sit with him for an hour so she could breathe. And one weekend, Karen coaxed her back to the courts. "Just one game," she said. Anna hesitated, then agreed. As she picked up her paddle, laughter around her, the pop of the ball echoing, Anna felt something stir inside her. Relief, belonging, strength. She realized that pickleball had given her more than a distraction. It had given her a community she didn't even know she had. Alzheimer's doesn't cause. It continued its march, slowly stealing more of her father. Anna found herself standing on the threshold of the hardest choice she would ever make, placing her father in a care facility. The thought tore her apart. She felt like she was betraying him, even as she knew it was the safest option. Yet now, she wasn't facing it alone. The same group that had been strangers months ago stood beside her. They listened, encouraged, prayed, and reminded her that love sometimes means making impossible choices. Anna would never stop being her father's daughter, but she no longer had to be only his caregiver. She could still live, still play, still carry both grief and hope, because she had people to walk with her. Pickleball had started as a simple game, but in her darkest season, it became a lifeline, proof that even in the shadow of Alzheimer's, community can shine light. We hope this story about love and resilience on the pickleball court had meaning in your life. If it did, please give the video a like and consider subscribing to this channel. It helps bring more stories like this to life. This story inspired us to make a design that represents courage, healing, and hope. If you or a loved one can relate to this story, we invite you to view the design and help keep this message alive. You'll find the link to the design in the description below. For more uplifting stories, click a playlist or video here.